Hey, and welcome back everyone, Friar Tuck here, and today I am going to share a personal story about how I've been able to make money online despite the circumstances of being homeless. If you find yourself homeless, making money online is going to be a game changer. It is going to be something that allows you to maybe and possibly reach your goals much sooner, much quicker, and also create a great foundation, which is something that you guys always hear me talking about. Is if you're going to get off the streets and get off the streets for good, you need a good foundation. Okay, before we get into this, there are some requirements, because this isn't like something where you can just show up. As long as you're a warm body and you're willing to do some labor, you can do it. This does require a few pieces of equipment, and I'll even tell you how you can get it at minimal to low cost to yourself. So the first thing you're going to need is a smartphone or a tablet. Both work. It just depends upon the medium in which you're trying to create, because if you're doing more design, like more artsy stuff, you're definitely going to want a tablet. It'll cost you about 20 bucks, but you're going to want a smartphone, which you can find those for free, especially if you're homeless. They give them out all the time. It's part of the Lifeline program that started in the 80s under Reagan. The next thing you're going to need is you are going to need access to the internet. Now, wherever city that you're in, there is always a library, and the library always has free internet. And in some cities, they even have free internet in the commercial districts. So you will also need access to an internet connection. And lastly, you're going to need a drive, a willingness to learn, a willingness to adapt and to change, because this is going to be a life-changing experience. Not only will you see the world differently, but it's gonna really change how your life goes, because of the environment that it puts you in, because you're making money online. So let's go through a little bit of a step-by-step process, and just to kind of give you a brief overview of some of the things that I dabbled in. So I have done affiliate marketing, I have done content creation, I have done gig work, I have done various different things through the online community, because there are more than just one way to skin this cat and to be able to make money, especially if you are a creative person with a specific set of skill sets. So what are the most important tips and tricks that I can give you that are going to help you become successful, especially if you want to be able to make money online? Because it is not as easy as some people like to say that it is. Especially a lot of these YouTubers, what they'll do is, oh yeah, I go out and make money, da da da. Well, it's not that easy. Now, have I made money? Yes. Did I struggle a little bit? Yes, in the beginning. Now, I didn't keep doing it, and if I would have kept doing it, I probably wouldn't be doing content creation, but it was just certain things. So what is it that you need to be able to be successful in the online workspace? And one of the most important things is understanding keywords. When somebody is looking for something that you do, they are typing out a certain phrase in which they're searching for. So how to be homeless, how to make money when homeless, how to get into a homeless shelter, where can I find safe places to sleep? Within this genre, within this niche, those are long tail or long form search queries that people have. So if I want to be able to come up in somebody's search results, one of the things that I'm going to have to really work on is putting that in a sentence. So think of it like, they call it SEO, or search engine optimization, but think of it like this. You are using a keyword, but when you use it in a sentence, you are giving it a definition. So when you say how to be homeless, in today's beginner's guide on how to be homeless, we're going to talk about homeless survival tips, da 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 da. Okay, so you notice how I'm starting to put in multiple keywords, but I am kind of stringing them together so that when the algorithm, or when the crawler comes by and looks at what's content that I have as far as a description, it can make it an informed guess on, is this the right content for somebody or is it not? Because quite frankly, and this is something that I have really learned on YouTube, that title is more important than thumbnail. Description is more important than title. Because here's the thing, if you are trying to get work, you are trying to be searchable. Okay, with this channel, I want it to be searchable. People who are looking for tutorials on how to be homeless, how to make money while being homeless, how to be safe while being homeless, different things like that. Okay, so what is the most important for me to be able to show up in the search results is the description of the service in which I have and the types of phrases that people are using to be able to find my work. Then the title comes in, because the thing is when especially if you're doing something educational, people will look at your title, because that's going to tell them, is this what I'm looking for, or is this not what I'm looking for? It doesn't have most of it, but no, it has this nuance. So I have an iPhone 15. Well, I no longer have the lightning port, so how to use your iPhone with a lightning port does not work for me. But yes, I do need to know how to use my iPhone, but I need to use it with a C port versus a lightning port. Okay, then comes your thumbnail. But when it comes to psychological understanding of what people are actually doing to be able to kind of choose whether or not to work with you, is that first of all, they're going to see that they may see, and the thumbnail has to kind of pop out at them to kind of grab their attention as they're scrolling through, because you're competing with hundreds of other individuals. And when you're competing with those other individuals, you need to be able to stand out. And your thumbnail is the first part to stand out, which gets them to stop, look at your title, make sure that it actually fits what they're looking for. But they would have never seen any of that without a proper description being written. So that's going to be the hardest part. If you are struggling to be able to get people to be viewed or get impressions and stuff like that, if you're looking at your analytics, it probably goes back to your description and then your title. Okay, that's just what I've learned, what works for me. The other thing that I learned that works for me, especially when I had my janitorial business, first to respond always gets the job. They may respond to 5 other people, especially when you're first starting out. They're just looking for the bottom feeder and the first one that's going to respond to them. Usually the first guy that responds is the first guy that gets the job, because people value promptness in returning their query, because when they come there, they're looking for an answer, they're looking for it now, they're willing to be patient, but the quicker you get back to them, the quicker you satisfy them, the happier that they are, because it's less time that they actually had to wait. Those are some of the key tips and tricks that I have learned. Okay, now that goes cross spectrum. Doesn't matter whether you're doing content creation, affiliate marketing, gig work, or freelancing, or even starting your own business. This is some basic things. Now, another tip that I would give you as far as how do I make money while working online? How do I choose what it is that I'm going to do while I'm online? And that is going to be something else that is going to be based upon your personality type. Okay, I like to teach people. I like to share people. I like to educate people. So am I a good affiliate marketer? Not really, unless I'm really like hammered on a product. Like, oh man, I completely believe in cellular water filters. I think they're the greatest thing, and I know them inside and out, so therefore I can do tutorials and talk about it, so on and so forth. But most people that are in the education space really aren't going to be your salesman, because they may say, oh yes, because this and this and this and this and this, okay, you're going to need these tools. Now that's an indirect way of selling versus being an affiliate marketer of like, yes, the top 10 best cameras this year, okay, because you've got to be sensational. You've got to be able to pull on their heartstrings to get them to go, oh, I can't help it, I gotta click on it. Okay, and the more sensational it is, but that is the salesman part of it. Okay, so do you have an outgoing personality? Are you excitable? Do you like selling things and educating people on products, because you're that guy that goes out and says, hey, yeah, if you go over here to this restaurant over here, that's probably some of the best chicken burritos you'll ever have. If you want a really good steak, you're going to go over here. If you want a really good burger, you go over there. If you want to be that type of guy is going to be your affiliate marketer, because he likes to sit there and get to know a product and find out what the good products are in that line and what the bad products are. And, therefore it gives them an opportunity to give you a contrast so that it can make the end user more informed when they're making their buying decisions. And because they like and trust you, you have a link, therefore they're going to go through it. You're going to make a commission. Okay, these are some basic tips that you need to understand to be able to do it. Now, if you're going to do gig work, you need to make sure that you are proficient in your skills, that you show your skills, and that you're very tactful. And you got to realize, think of it like a restaurant. Okay, when a chef is graded on his meal, probably one of the most important grades that he gets is presentation. At that point in time, nobody cares what it looks like. What they care about is, what do the eyes see? What does it make your stomach want to do? If I see that chocolate cake and it just looks so juicy, my mouth is watering, well, therefore you win the presentation. Now, I may be disappointed getting in, but the presentation is going to at least give you an opportunity to try something, especially if it's something new. Hey, I usually do regular chocolate cake, but this one's going to be a dark chocolate cake. So you know what? I realized I didn't like dark chocolate cake, but that looks so good that if I actually liked dark chocolate, that would be the cake for me. Okay, so therefore you've got that going on there. Okay, so there are various ways to be able to make it. You can also do it with blogging, and so therefore, you know, that's why I have a blog now, is because I want to use that not only as a way to be able to reach you guys, but to do the indirect selling as part of being an educational channel on the homeless topic. Okay, so to wrap things up, let's go ahead and do a recap. So what are our tips and what are our strategies? First of all is about keywording, and then, you know, creating a top-notch description, and then going from there and creating a top-notch title, and then from there a top-notch thumbnail to be able to market and showcase the work in which you have. Okay, the other things that we talked about is being able to decide what way in which you can make money, such as, you know, what is your personality type? Are you a salesman? Are you an educator? Are you an entertainer? Are you a comedian? Okay, and so therefore figuring out what it is that you are good at, or what it is that your passion is, will kind of determine which platform, which direction in which you go. Okay, so you may be asking yourself, okay, Tuck, so how much money have you actually made at this? Okay, on YouTube, I have and quite frankly, I'm going to be just straightforward. I've made a little bit over $1,000 just on the YouTube partner program when it comes to ad revenue. Actually, I probably made closer to $2,000 in about 12 months of being monetized. Okay, I would probably say I make another, through my tip jar, I probably make another $2,000 a year. Okay, sometimes maybe a little bit more, maybe no more than 3, but I don't get a lot in my tip jar. But again, I'm still a growing channel. I am building my base and my platform. Although this June will be my 2-year anniversary, I've only really been focusing on the homeless issue for about 9-10 months, because I originally started out on prepping and homelessness versus just educating you guys on homelessness, which I had to find out where my true authority was, and I thought it would be helpful, but I wasn't. Okay, so other ways in which I make money. So Patreon, I have made probably close to $1,000 on it in the last year. Okay, so we're looking at about $5,000 right now, just in those 3 platforms. I've made probably, on my affiliate marketing, I've made maybe $50 in the last year. Also, some of the side hustle work. Now, before I really focused and went full-time with content creation, I made about $10,000 through ShiftSmart, which was like a couple of years ago, during the pandemic and during a lot of the shutdowns. I have made probably a good $2,000 or $3,000 off of Upwork and Fiverr, more off of Upwork than Fiverr. Upwork is more for the professional. Fiverr is more for the entry-level guy. Okay, so I would say all in all, in the last year, I made about $5,000, maybe $7,000 between like some of the side hustles and gigs and things that I've done, that I've gone through online, because, you know, they're different ways to be able to do it. You can do things like Craigslist, and you can, again, there's the different apps and things like that. Okay, so that's about how much money that I've made over the last year and just becoming a content creator. Now, a lot of you guys go, well, that's not a lot of money. When you're homeless, that's a lot of money. Okay, when you don't have a drug issue, because you're not going out there trying to support a $500 a day crack habit, that's a lot of money. When you don't have mental health issues, so you're not in this constant manic state where you are just being self-destructive and every dollar you get goes towards your self-destructive behavior, well, again, that becomes a lot of money, because now I get to focus on what it is that I'm doing. I'm freeing up my time. You know, one of the positive things that have happened is that as time goes along, I'm no longer going to the food lines, because now I can buy my own food. I can cook my own food. I am not going to this YouTube payday. I will now be getting myself a gym membership because it is so hard to be able to get in there and get a shower and do it in a timely amount so that I can be productive throughout the day. There's other things that I am looking at getting, and this has actually allowed me independence from the system. So although I am still technically homeless, I am becoming independent from the homeless system, and I am on that path because by this time next year, I will have expected to have made about $20,000. But it took me a while to get there because you have to build a reputation, you have to build a foundation, you have to build all of these different things. Okay, so it's not something that is easy. It is something that you got to play a long game on. Very few people have success quick. You are going to have to sit there and fine tune and tweak, and it may take you a little while to be able to get a job. But if you're homeless, how long was it taking you to look for work to begin with? If you're homeless, how long were you going to end up searching for work anyways? Okay, so the amount of time that it takes, you've got time, but what's going to be more productive and what's going to make you more money? Being able to freelance and work for yourself and create your own rates based upon what it is that you're good at, or just to go get some random job that may not even give you enough money to pay rent. Okay, so those are the choices in which you're going to have to make, and so you're going to have to weigh out the pros and cons. That's why I can take this risk now, but if I was housed up, I wouldn't take this risk. Why? Because this would have to be a side hustle, because I need to be able to put a roof over my head, but I'm already out here. So now I have a lot more flexibility to be able to choose a different path for myself. And this is what I keep trying to share with you guys when I talk about turning over a new leaf. I strongly encourage you, go out, dabble, play with this, ask your questions. Maybe go out and look on Fiverr and look at all the different gigs and all the different categories and say, okay, I can do this one, this one, this one, and this one. And then as you start looking through and kind of figuring out, okay, well, this guy offers a service, so I kind of want to model myself after this guy, and so on and so forth. Maybe, just maybe, you decide, well, hey, I want to do this to be able to supplement my income in case, I'm caught up in this great dispossession that I'm not hurt as much. Okay, come back, ask some questions, post some comments. Strongly encourage you. Consider this kind of like a little bit of homework to not only help you avoid homelessness, but to help you understand that there are alternative ways, and that it's not just a blanket, okay, you're homeless, go get a job, get a place, because there's so many different ways in which you can work to make money that if you don't allow yourself to be creative, it is what it is. But don't forget to share this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Everything else is down in the description. If you find value in any of this, please leave me a tip down in my tip jar, or come over and become a member of Patreon, and we will talk more in depth about a lot of the money making ideas. This is just surface level stuff. Everything over on Patreon is going to be a lot more hands-on tutorials and give you guys a lot more opportunity to be able to ask the questions that you need. So until the next video, thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day.